In this video, we're going to talk about the details of why freeing yourself from sugar can be one of the best decisions for your life and also for your health. And then we're also going to talk about exactly why it can feel so hard to break our connection from sugar in the first place. So we'll get into some of the details about the physiology of what's going on there. And this part especially is so important to understand because when you understand the why of all of this, that's the knowledge, the foundational knowledge that we're going to use to create the how of how to actually break that connection from sugar. So we'll get more into the how a little bit later in the series, but for today, we're going to really hone in on the why of all of this so that you can start this off with a really good fundamental understanding. So in case we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Jennelle. My background is in nutrition and dietetics, and last year in 2025, I successfully 100% broke myself free from sugar. So in the month of May, I went for a full 30 days with zero sugar at all, and that set me up for the rest of the year barely eating any sugar. This year I'm going for the full thing. I'm going from right now in January till November. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm gonna be honest, that feels really easy. Like after just doing that 30-day sprint, the rest of this just feels so easy because I have completely broken that connection. There are no cravings. A bowl of ice cream in front of me has zero effect on me, really. And this has all just become so much easier, and I've gotten so many expected and unexpected benefits from doing this. So we're going to talk about exactly what those are, and then in this series we'll go through exactly how I did everything so that you, if you're wanting to, can copy that and do that too and experience all the same benefits. So with that being said, let's get right into exactly how good you're gonna feel when you do break free from sugar. Okay, so the benefits you see and you feel when you quit sugar. Number one, first thing, is you look and feel so much younger. And this is because sugar really ages the skin. And to be honest, when I first heard that last year, that was my whole reason for doing that 30-day sprint in the first place, because honestly, I'm 30 now and I just care about that stuff a lot all of a sudden. So I was like, I'm spending so much time on my skincare and trying to do all these things to help me stay, looking decently young, hopefully. And I'm really trying to avoid Botox too, honestly. So when I heard that sugar really ages the skin, as someone who ate it quite frequently, I was like, all right, I've got to do something about this and see if it actually makes a difference. And it does. The difference in my skin, your skin gets so much smoother and it gets so much firmer and younger feeling. And then it also naturally gives you that nice, clear, glowy skin. So one huge thing was my breakouts magically disappeared. Obviously not magically, but my breakouts totally went away and my skin got so much more glowy. So that was a really nice and unexpected benefit from that. So second benefit is about the body itself, and it's really interesting, I think. So yes, you will get more fit. Yes, you will get into better shape, of course, when you stop eating sugar, especially if it's a long-term thing like what we're talking about here. But what I found really interesting was that when you quit sugar, you actually allow your body to get to kind of its baseline body composition. So what I'm saying is that your body naturally kind of falls into the shape that is best for your body, right? You let yourself get back to kind of a baseline. So I found that really interesting and exciting because all of a sudden I realized for months I didn't really have to think about like what I was wearing anymore because everything just felt like it looked good kind of all the time. Like my body was just in its right shape all the time. I was never like, oh, I feel too bloated to wear this, or I don't know if I should wear this because I feel like it won't look good at the moment. Didn't experience any of that for so many months, honestly, just until this last month because it was Christmas time and I indulged a bit too much, to be totally honest, but that's fine. But yeah, so that was a very exciting and fun benefit of not eating a lot of sugar. Okay, so benefit number 3 is you will get much more stable moods. So you will feel calmer, and especially it'll be a lot harder for you to reach a state of like high irritability. And I found this especially useful because I'm a mom to 2 little kids. I stay at home with the kids, and it can be a lot sometimes. And, you know, feeling so much less on edge was surprising to me and was really nice. I'm able to like keep calm for so much longer. Whereas during these times where I was indulging more, I could see so much more that I was like a little quicker to get irritated. And I was like, that's interesting that links right when I'm having a lot of sugar. So stable moods, calm energy, that has a lot to do with your hormone balance and also how sugar is affecting your blood sugar throughout the day. So I'll definitely talk in great detail about that throughout this series. And then, yeah, the 4th benefit to feeling, breaking that connection with sugar is that you get to experience true freedom from sugar. Like I said, you will have no more cravings. Like stuff can be put right in front of your face. You can even smell it, and it doesn't really affect you that much. Like, I know this is kind of like a funny thing to admit. It feels a little bit silly, but I know that a lot of people experience this, so I'm just going to say it. Sugar can have, clearly it can have a very like addictive effect on people, and it can make you feel a little bit like out of control. Like it can be hard to physically control yourself from eating a batch of freshly baked cookies, for example. Like that is a real thing that a lot of people experience, and it sounds kind of funny, like you just physically can't control yourself from eating a cookie, but that's a real thing that a lot of people experience, and that is something that goes away when you break that connection. So it's been the most freeing thing because I can just focus on my healthy habits and everything I'm doing, and I can indulge from time to time when it's special, when I want to, without that kind of out of control feeling. I don't know about you, but I hate that feeling. I hate feeling like out of control like that. Or like I'm, not really the one making the decision in that situation. Spoiler alert, it's your gut bacteria making that decision, which we'll talk about next. So yeah, if you really hate that too, then you're really going to love this series because it's going to go into all of the details about why that happens and exactly how to stop that from happening. So with that said, let's get into the next part where we talk about why that is all happening. Okay, so one main huge reason why we crave sugar so much and why it can feel so hard to break our connection to it has everything to do with your gut bacteria. So we'll go into 2 big reasons today, and there are probably more, but these are kind of the main ones that we'll need to focus on. So the gut bacteria thing is huge. So I think we're all kind of aware, it's pretty common these days to know that your gut is filled with lots of beneficial bacteria and lots of harmful or not beneficial bacteria, right? And which one of those you have the most of depends on which ones you feed. And which one you have the most on will dictate how well you're aging, how well you're able to control your emotions, even how happy you feel, how good you feel, because it's something like, I'll look it up, but it's something like a good 70% of serotonin is created by the bacteria in your gut. So if you are crowding out those good bacteria that are making all of that serotonin, you won't be able to make as much and you literally won't feel as happy. So you're literally like having a worse quality of life just for this one simple reason. So as you probably have gathered or you've probably heard before, sugar feeds those bad, harmful bacteria. So having too much of those harmful bad bacteria is going to make you more susceptible to infections. And like I said, it's going to affect your mood and it's going to make your skin age much faster and also just make you look a little more like dull, right? Like less glowy in your appearance and all of that stuff. And on top of that, there's weight gain and not being able to get into the shape that you want to, even if you're working out a lot. So it has a huge effect on you. And sugar feeds the bad bacteria. So if you are constantly feeding yourself sugar, that's what you're growing inside of your gut. It will multiply and it will crowd out those good bacteria. Fiber and whole foods specifically feed your good bacteria. So really a big part of this whole like sugar freedom situation is as simple as less sugar, more whole foods, right? It's so simple. I'm talking like real true whole foods here, right? Like lentils, vegetables, berries, nuts, seeds, right? Simple stuff. More of that, less of sugar, and you will start to create more and more good bacteria, which means you will crave less because you'll crave less sugar because the other thing about your bad bacteria is they will keep you craving more sugar. So you'll feel like you are craving sugar, right? And sometimes that can feel really bad and people feel really guilty about that. Like, oh, I just can't control like how much I crave sugar as it has such a hold on me. And I'm like, no, a huge part of it, it's not even you. It's your gut bacteria that are making you feel such strong cravings because they are like fighting to survive in there, right? They want to survive. And when you feed them a little bit of sugar, they're like, okay, it's my time to thrive. So I'm going to make my host crave tons of sugar so I can get fed and multiply, right? So it's the bacteria in your gut. So that's why you want to really focus in on trying not to feed those bacteria and try to feed the bacteria that are going to make the really good things for your body like serotonin and that are going to give you a good healthy gut lining so you can absorb all of your nutrients better, right? These good bacteria over here do so many wonderful, amazing things for your body. So feed them and they will take really good care of you. And then, of course, we all know that that sugar has a big effect on your brain because it makes you release so much dopamine. So releasing so much dopamine when you eat sugar will obviously make you feel this really intense sense of pleasure, and it activates these reward centers in the brain, and it will put you in this kind of addictive cycle because your brain wants more of that feeling, right? That's natural to just want more feelings of pleasure. So when you have that dopamine release, the reward centers are activated and it'll make you crave more sugar because it wants to be reactivated. And then you'll just kind of be in that cycle. And that cycle will continue until you consciously become aware of it and consciously interrupt it too. So that'll be a big thing that we talk about throughout the series is how to exactly do that. So, but that is another big reason it can feel so hard to break our connection to sugar because that's something that's really just running like in the background. You know, you're not even, until you're aware of it, you don't even know what's going on with that. And you just kind of feel these things without realizing exactly why. So that is one big reason why. So now that you understand those physiological reasons why it can feels so hard to break free from sugar, I'm going to help you apply that information so you can understand how to actually really break that connection from sugar, so you can really start to experience all of those benefits we talked about in the beginning, like aging better, letting your body get to its own baseline of its own ideal body composition, getting that glowy skin, feeling calmer, all the good stuff. We're going to apply this information so that way you can get all of that good stuff. So I have all of that laid out for you in my next video. By the time this one airs, the link to that video should be down below. So go ahead and check that one out, and I will see you over there. Bye.